Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Devo with Bo. Hey, sorry about that. It cut out, but it got back going. One of those weird moments in the Facebook world, where everything's going smooth and you go, "Hey man, we're ready to go." And then boop, you're off. So, hey, welcome. We're in Titus chapter 2 today. Good morning. It was great to see everybody in the chat box too already, and that was awesome. I was so excited to see it, and then all of a sudden, boom! You know what? You hit a button, and it's done. So, yeah, it's probably user error. There's so many buttons on these screens. Sometimes you hit one, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and you don't even know what's going on. So, it's good to see you, Bob, and good to see all the other people that are in the house. And we hope that you enjoy this time of Devo this morning. We're in chapter 2 of the book of Titus. Super cool book. And man, just a blessing. Talking a little bit about salvation by grace again in chapter 1, and talking about building character, and obviously looking at the fruit when it comes to choosing leaders for those churches that are on the island of Crete. So, and that's really what Paul's vision is for Titus, is to be able to take his leadership skills, that is Titus's skills, and be able to elect leaders for those churches, gatherings that were happening on the island of Crete. And you might be thinking, well, why do they need to do that anyway? Well, the reason why is because there was a lot of different kind of teachers that were in the area, and they were coming into homes, it says, and they were teaching that you must obey Jewish laws in order to really draw close to God and receive salvation. So, hey, Zeus, it's good to see you. So chapter 2 is really one of those fun chapters to kind of just always remember in your mind as a Christian. Titus chapter 2, because it gives you some instruction in your life, there's some good application, and it also points back to the wonderful servanthood of Jesus in our life, and really walking in a Christian life, being filled with the power of the Holy Spirit, which is something that we need just all the time. So let's get into it. But as for you guys, it's a little bit of a contrast statement, right, to what I just got done saying about people that their hearts are filled with evil, and their everything they see they just want to manipulate, or they want to they have an angle on everything. They can't see things in a pure way. Everything's got an angle, on it. And it says, but as for you, speak up for the right living that goes along with being a true Christian. It says, teach the older men to be serious and unruffled. I love that. Unruffled. What does unruffled mean? Is that like wearing ruffles? Can someone tell me out there what unruffled means? You know what it sounds like, and I haven't read this version much, so I'm not super familiar. Or not this version, but this paraphrase much, I should say, of the Bible. But I love how it says this, unruffled. I like what it says here. Teach the older men to be temperate, worthy of respect, self-controlled, and sound in faith. So it says worthy of respect, temperate, the idea of balance there. But this paraphrase says unruffled, stable in the Lord. Bob says that's good. Teach the older men to be stable, unruffled. I guess that's the idea of, right, being, you're easily ruffled is when you probably get kind of thrown off the beam, right? It's easily to get thrown off the beam. Hey, sorry, Marcia. I don't know what just happened, but it happened, but we're back on. So, and glad you're with me. So, yeah, being unruffled, are you easily tweaked? Do you easily get thrown off your game? Is it something where you easily just kind of go like, you know what, man, my day's bad now? Is that how your day is? Like, where everything's going good, and what we mean by good is according to your plan. That you're in control of everything, and then someone calls or something happens, and you go, man, that wasn't what I planned today. Now I'm unruffled. You know, that's what I think of as like, you're kind of be unruffled. You're not flexible, you know. Um, and gosh, every day can I wake up and I think of me and can I wake up and just be like, hey, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And I don't know what's going to happen today. I might think it's going to be a work mundane day or something like that where you do the same things kind of on a weekly basis. But Lord, I don't know what's going to happen today. And so help me to be flexible with that. So unruffled. They must be sensible, knowing and believing the truth and doing everything with love and patience. So older men love patience, unruffled. That steadiness that Bob was talking about, stability in the Lord. I like that. Jesus says, losing the feed. Oh, it was a test for the rest of the day. That's right. That was your test. Hey, did you guys were you guys ruffled? That was my test, I guess. Did you guys get ruffled by it coming off, by it clicking off? If you got ruffled, whoa, this passage is for us, isn't it? Yeah, teach the older men to be unruffled, right? That they stable. They don't get just thrown off real quick. And it says, teach the older women to be quiet and respectable in everything they do. Quiet and respectable in everything they do. An older man, love and patience. Older women to be respectable, quiet in everything they do. They must not go around speaking evil of others and must not be heavy drinkers. Interesting. And I wonder if some of what Paul is saying is kind of reflective of this place in Crete, this culture of Crete. So I kind of take it the other way. So maybe older men were constantly being ruffled, and maybe they were constantly unloving and not patient at all. They were just really quick to anger. And maybe the women, maybe they were not quiet and never respectful. And maybe they always went around and slandered, right? That kind of word that means the devil, the slanderer. Right? Maybe they slandered other people. Maybe they did knock it down a little bit and they drank a bunch. And maybe they were not teachers of good things. You know, you kind of flip it the other way, the opposite way, and you kind of see, hey, maybe what Paul's trying to, help them rectify and fall under the Christian ethic of what is deemed good. And so it says, then these older women must train the younger women to live quietly. So maybe these women didn't train. Maybe they weren't invested in family. Maybe they didn't think of children as being a real plus. Maybe they thought of the family as not being that important. Maybe they thought of their, kind of their world in society. It didn't really mean much either. And so maybe they just drank and got kind of loud and became unruly. And Paul's trying to, again, correct that by saying, hey, train up the younger women to live quietly. Now, there's some principles that I see already in here for me this morning, and that is, of course, am I walking in loving patience? Am I walking in these ways of being stable, not ruffled by everything? Am I a person who is being respectful? Am I quiet? And what I mean by that is slow to speak, quick to listen, slow to wrath. Am I quick to listen but slow to speak? Right? Do I have a quietness about me? Or is it just I'm trying to be the teacher over everybody? Everybody that I run into, I need to be the teacher. I need to teach everybody, and nobody teaches me. I never listen because I'm always just the one who's in command, and I see some things that I go, man, that's something, I have to learn how to, work on that. So, hey, Paula, I hope it's going good now. And it says, I love that idea of discipleship too. Did you see that in there? Older women teach the younger women. What a call from the Lord. Am I invested in young people's lives? Do I have any role to play in their life? And I love this because we see each other as a unit, that we have to function in unity, walking together with one another. Hey, Tamara, I'm glad it's on for you now. Um, but walking together as a unit where we see each other's, we're all important, the roles that we're playing. I think too much in our culture, what's happening is everybody wants to do the same role. And when everybody wants to do the same role, guess what? Other roles get missed. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, if you're on a baseball team and everybody wants to play shortstop, well, if you got 15 shortstop players, or let me do baseball, nine shortstop players, you can only play one at a time. That's it. The rest are going to have to sit on the bench, or they're going to play the field, but they're always going to drift to being a shortstop. They're always going to drift into that one position of being a shortstop, and they won't be good at being a second baseman or a first baseman or a catcher or a right fielder. Everybody's got a position to play. And see, the idea is, if you call equality everybody playing shortstop, see, that's equality. If you're a shortstop, I need to be a shortstop too. See, that's equality. You're the shortstop, and I should be a shortstop too, because I want to be a shortstop. I don't think being second base, first base, catcher, pitcher, anything, designated hitter, no way is that important. What I think is, what I want to do is be what you are doing. And so if we all do that, and everybody is saying that that's equality, that everybody needs to be a shortstop, then guess what? We're neglecting everything else. Everything else. And do you think that's what's happening? Why things are becoming so unstable and wobbly in societies? It's because there's no togetherness, because we can't even be together on what equality means. We've lost even that understanding. We think equality means everybody doing the same thing at the same time, probably. And that's just not the case. We all have different roles to play. Older women teach the younger women. It doesn't say older men teach the younger men. And if I say, well, hey, I'm just as equal, I have the same exact right that older woman has to teach a younger woman. She can do it, I can do it as well. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, I can do it too. Well, then I get away from what I'm supposed to be doing, and now I'm doing what the Bible says that she's to be doing, and other people follow suit with me, then it neglects a whole other area, another whole section. And if people keep following suit and we just do the same things, then, we're missing out on so much. So why not we have older women teach the younger women? And why not us men invest in other younger men and help them out? And we see that it's okay. We have equal of importance, but not equal duties. So shortstop, pitcher, catcher, designated hitter are all equal in importance. They're all vital to the team. They all have an important role to play. But they are not equal in their function. They all do different things. Even some of them wear different kinds of gloves. That's right. Not every glove is equal, meaning the same. That's right. They different. So Marcia says God has recently placed 2 homeschooled kids and 1 U of A undergrad student in her life. It's been a huge blessing. And that's so good. So older women, teach the younger women. Do you think that women today need to understand what the Bible teaches about being a woman? Do you think the Bible has any importance in the world today to help women understand who they are in their relationship to God and to God's Son, and how in their families, and what constitutes a family, and these kind of things? This is, if you don't teach, if older women don't teach younger women, then guess what? Who's gonna? It's probably gonna be, people like I was when I was younger, where you're in people's lives and you don't know Jesus Christ and you're influencing different people. And today you have, a lot of social media, and you have a billion preachers on YouTube. And I mean, like, as in secular preachers, you have teachers, you have all kinds of people that, younger people will gravitate to and be taught by. So you could see the breakdown, right? If someone's not doing their part on the field, then guess what? When the opposing batter hits the ball, and if it don't go to shortstop, because everybody's playing shortstop, everybody's gravitating towards shortstop, if he hits that ball anywhere else, it's going to be a home run, because no one's going to be able to get it. Everybody's going to be running around. They're in the wrong positions. And so, I don't know if you get in my baseball analogy a little bit, but, that's what happens when you grow up playing in Little League. So it says, in the same way, urge young men to behave carefully. And it says, taking life seriously. So younger men, take life seriously. Man, I tell you, there's nothing like a young person who, really thinks through things in their life and, really sees their world properly, taking it seriously. This is something that I never did too well in growing up, is taking life seriously. And it says, and being an example of them in good deeds of every kind. I love the New King James Version that talks about young people here being a pattern of good works in their life, being consistent. If there's anything young people struggle with, it's a lot of what? Consistency. Yeah, even as middle-aged and older people, right? Being consistent can be difficult. But you guys are doing great. For those that are in the Devo, man, you guys are in here quite a bit, and you guys are being consistent, whether you're working out to it, whether you're doing some stretching to it, just getting your body moving, in the morning, or if you're already going in the work day and you're just like going, hey, I just need a little word in me. You guys are being consistent, and praise God for that. That's awesome. Being a pattern of good works. So this is what young men are called, it says, to do, is urge them to behave carefully. Because a lot of times young men can make some really extremely poor decisions in a snap, right? In a quick moment. So instead of being a pattern of good works, and we can just fly off the handle a little bit, it says, let everything you do reflect the love of the truth. And that's really what we want to do, is our lives, we want to reflect our love for the truth. And what a beautiful statement, right? Let everything you do reflect your love for the truth. So in order to know the truth, we have to read, we have to study, we have to listen to the words of God. It says, in the fact that you are in dead earnest about it, meaning you really go after the truth. It's not just something that you just kind of kick back on. It's like a passiveness. But you get the idea that pursuing the truth is really something that is an active work that's going on in you. It's really taking some activity going on in your brain and in your mind and in your body and things like that. It says, your conversation should be so sensible and logical that anyone who wants to argue will be ashamed of himself, because there won't be anything to criticize in anything you say. Wow. That's cool. I like that statement, and I love the paraphrase version, man, how it says this. That it's so sensible and so what? Logical. Logos, that idea of the Word. The Word in the New Testament, the Word made flesh. Jesus is the Word. The word is logos in the Greek, and I like logical. It makes sense. It's sensible, and And hopefully the baseball analogy is a little bit makes it logical. Oh, it's logical. It makes sense, right? That all of us got a part to play. That makes sense. And to say everybody's equal as in the same exact thing, doing the same exact thing, being the same exact thing, that makes no sense. We are a human team working together. Um, but we are different, many different parts to it. So we want to be sensible, we want to be logical. So people talking to us can follow where our brain's going, the reasoning process that we have. So a Christian shouldn't be something that, where we talk and it makes just absolutely no sense at all. And so we really need to kind of make sure that we have some kind of we're being, again, I guess, active in our brain, really thinking through things, working through some of the maybe logical errors that we have in our minds, and trying to put our arguments into a very logical, sensible way, and articulate them. And that takes time as you continue to work with people or talk to people. You'll be able to develop more and more as you continue to step out in faith and just do it. So we're going to stop there, and we'll continue on chapter 2, verse 9 tomorrow. But don't you just love the instructions Paul gives? Again, if we take Titus chapter 2 and we just took everything to its opposite conclusion, then you really see kind of maybe the problems within the society. I could ask the question, is that a lot like our society? So is our society very ruffled? Do we get easily taken off the beam, off the path? Do we easily get ruffled, by something that we hear or that happens to us? Are we serious people, or do we find ourselves constantly wanting to be numb by things? Kind of in fantasy land. Are we people that go after the truth? Are we a loving culture? Are we a patient culture? Are we a culture that invests in the family? Are we a culture that wants to work together as teams? Or do we find ourselves arguing? Do we find ourselves wanting, are we a culture that just wants to, again, numb ourselves by drinking or drugging or things like that? How are we a culture that loves children? See, if you take it that way, you kind of go, whoa, man, what a trip. Maybe that's a lot like our culture. So maybe Crete is a lot like our culture. So, that kind of thing. Anyway, there's a lot of good stuff. Let's work on investing in the young people's lives, and really, helping that next generation to learn the Word and to grow in their understanding. So you guys have a great day, okay? Sorry about whatever technical issues that we had. Seems like it's going great now, but you can always check out the archives at the YouTube channel, Bo Willett. And tomorrow, chapter 2, we'll finish it up because it's a good one. And then the next day, 3, and then we're in the book of James. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.